So hello everybody, welcome to JAIIB CAIIB English Medium channel. I hope all of you are doing fine. So when we talk about the JAIIB examination, the exam cycle has begun with today's IFS exam, and the first shift was over, which was moderately tough, we can say. And now when we talk about the second shift, the inputs are coming from the bankers that more or less the pattern is being same as it was in the first shift. Okay, so more or less you will find the questions on a tricky side itself. And when we talk about the questions which are asked, exactly the questions, so here we need your help also. All of you who are watching this session, you should also provide some inputs in the chat section, live chat, so that we can have a discussion around whatever was asked. And this session will be helpful for your shift 3 candidates, along with that those candidates who are planning to give the JAIIB exam in 2026. Fine. So when we talk about the initial reaction, again, as I was telling you, it is on a tricky side. We can say that moderately tough is the exam overall. And first of all, the questions which we are receiving right now, let's see one by one. So first question, we have the one particular question pertaining to the priority sector lending norms. So PSL norms was again asked in this shift as well. And when we talk about the PSL norms which were asked earlier, they were more or less related to the renewable energy for individuals. Fine, the renewable energy in case of your renewable energy sector in case of individuals. Then next question, it is there for the paid up capital. Fine, the paid up capital for the private banks. Fine, paid up capital for the private banks, and the answer would be what? 500 CR. 500 CR is there, the right answer for the private sector banks. After that, one question was on the MSMEs also. So in the first shift, what we have seen that MSME limits, the turnover limits were asked. This time the particular limits which were asked for the medium enterprises. Okay, so these are the questions which have been asked in this particular session 2, you can say, the shift 2 of JAIIB IFS examination. And when we talk about the next question, it was more or less based on the self-help groups. Yes, so SHGs, one question was on the self-help groups also. The expected you can say topic for your upcoming shift, that is third shift, will be weaker section, because SHGs, they are directly mentioned in the weaker sections also, and weaker sections category has gone certain changes when we talk about the March 2025. Okay, so these are the important topics which already have been reported by the candidates. Then we have the question on insurance. Fine, insurance sector, one direct question was on the insurance sector as well. Insurance sector, the regulator, that is your IRDAI. Fine, IRDAI was there. Next question is for the pension reforms. Fine, question related to pension reforms. See, statement based questions are again asked in this particular shift as well. Yes, we have seen that in the previous class also, that okay, insurance sector, IRDAI, yes, composition of IRDAI was asked. So one question from IRDAI's composition. Okay, composition means the number of directors, etc., how many are there. Okay, next we have questions. Some more questions are coming. In the meantime, if you have any kind of topic with you, questions with you, do let us know. Okay, this has been done. Oh, fine. So here only in this particular question, the MSME limits, medium enterprises in comparison to the small was asked. Fine, one candidate has just reported from the small it has been asked. PSL norms, what was the exact question? Renewable energy, your individual limit was asked in the first shift. What was the question here in the second shift? If anybody can contribute, anybody can tell us. Okay, okay. So that is also one of the question when we talk about the SHG. Then we have the question based on the exceptions to law of demand. Exceptions asked in your first shift also. Here again, exceptions to law of demand was asked. Law of demand. And when we talk about the exceptions, what are these exceptions? Mostly we say that the prices, when they are rising, it lead to automatic fall in demand, and as the prices go down, automatically demand will pick up. Exceptions, we study two types of exceptions. One in case of your inferior goods known as giffen commodities, and then luxury items in the Veblen commodities given by Thorstein Veblen. Okay, fine. Right, right. Exceptions to law of demand, yes. Okay, okay. So IMF related question, then students are reporting that we had one IMF related question. IMF related, whether it was SDR, special drawing rights, or for that matter it was for the organizational structure in the IMF, like the director, who is the director, or some general question was asked. What was the exact question, if you guys can tell us? Okay, also comment your marks. Fine, what is your score this time? What was your score? Even if you are from first shift, or for that matter second shift, what is your score? We are eagerly waiting for your scores. Okay, we understand that the exam is tough, but still you have done really well. Many students, we have received the feedback that they are scoring beyond 60, which is good to know. Okay. Then we have the inputs for numerical also. When we talk about the numerical, more or less the numericals, as the case was in the first shift, same pattern you can say is followed in the second shift also. Only 2 to 3 numericals were asked. Fine, 2 to 3 numericals in this particular shift has been asked. And when I talk about the numericals, mostly the students are reporting the numerical is from the measure of money supply. Measure of money supply, you have the important formulas, be it M1, M2, M3 or M4. The formulas are very important, and they can ask the same formula in the upcoming shift as well. M1 is equal to what? You have the currency with the public plus the deposits, fine, the other deposits with the RBI plus your demand deposits, fine. M2 is simply M1 plus the savings part of your post offices. M3 is M1 plus the time deposit, and M4 is M3 plus the overall deposits of post office, overall post office deposits. So these formulas you should remember if your exam is in the third shift. Fine. There were questions on the CRA. Okay. That who regulates the CRA? Fine, fine. So when we talk about CRA question, so if the question was that who regulates the CRA, credit rating agencies, the answer would be what? SEBI. Okay. Not RBI. SEBI is there. Credit rating agencies. CRA. Fine. Then the question was on the SDG. Fine. SDG. The SDGs are framed by whom? Sustainable Development Goals. They are formed by whom? Under the guidance of United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. We had the 17 SDGs and ultimately 169 targets. Since 2015, the SDGs are there in the global setup, and till 2030 they will remain intact, okay, in the particular setup of this your SDGs. Fine. Next question, if you have any kind of question with you. Okay. Next question on money multiplier was also asked, as students are telling us. Then we have the 12th question as money multiplier. Money multiplier. Okay, so what was the exact question? Directly money multiplier, the formulas are asked. First formula is broad money divided by the M naught, and the second formula is the reciprocal of your reserve ratio. And these two formulas, again, they can ask the same formula in your third shift as well. Okay, so question on soft and hard underwriting. Fine. One question on soft and hard underwriting. Fine, underwriting. What is the basic difference here? Anybody? The basic difference or the keyword which you have to remember is the level of risk involved. Fine, the risk involved. It varies according to the risk involved. Okay, so MSME, again, the limits were asked. Fine, we have discussed that question. I think just now we were discussing that only. There were numerical one on so medium is too small, and when we talk about the overall in MSME limits in case of investment, what is the criteria? 2.5, 25 and 125 is for the investment for your micro, small and medium. And when we talk about the turnover, it is what? We have 10, 100 and 500 crore. Fine. So this table you must remember. In the third shift also, they can ask you some data points out of these various limits. Yes. Okay. When we talk about the next topic, which was expected also somewhere down the line, we were expecting that question will be there from the corporate social responsibility, the CSR. Under which act it is covered? Under the Companies Act 2013. And when we talk about the section, it is 135, Schedule 7th. Plus CSR activities, what is the overall structure? You have to spend at least 2% of your net profit from the past 3 financial years. Find the average of last 3 financial years profit. When we talk about the penalty, it is what? The penalty for your both corporates as well as defaulting officer. So defaulting officer will be levied certain fine as well as your corporate. So both will be the right answer for this question which was asked, defaulting officer as well as the corporate. Okay, that will be the right answer, both. Next we have the question on ESG framework. Fine, environment, social and governance. So ESG is a modern phenomena When we talk about comparability, it is comparable to CSR efforts, fine, corporate social responsibility efforts. Then we have one more question. In fact, one input from the bankers that mostly the latest updates were asked. So latest updates were asked. That is the initial reaction from the second shift. Fine. Latest examples, latest data points were asked. Okay. Fine. So 2 to 3 questions were there from the CSR activities. Then ESG we have discussed for the CSR efforts. PMJJBY, again the insurance products, Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. For your next shift, you can expect a question on APY. Fine. APY is also important. The Atal Pension Yojana. Then we have a question on the medium enterprise we have discussed. After that, there are the questions from the Act. Fine. Okay. In the morning, we have seen Act-based question, the RBI Act and the Banking Regulation Act. When we talk about the RBI Act, it governs your CRR. Banking Regulation Act governs your SLR. Fine. That was the question in the morning shift. Okay. Specifically, section 22. Okay, section 22 was asked this time. So section 22 is what in RBI Act? It is to issue the bank notes. Okay, bank notes. Fine. RBI Act, section 22. Fine. Okay, MSME we have discussed. Then we have the FDI limits. One question was on the FDI limits. See, for the upcoming shift, that is shift number 3, you should focus on the FDI limits of banks. Public sector banks, what is the FDI limit? It is 20%, and that too in the government route. Fine, government route, always remember. Call money, notice money, another question. Fine, so call money, notice money. This was asked in the morning shift also, call money. Then we have the notice money also. Fine. So see, the questions are different, but the topics are same. More or less, we are right now, we can say that 60 to 70 topics are the same. Yes, that is the initial reaction, Gaussia's lifestyle. When we talk about the initial reaction, it is tough, very tough. The first shift was moderately tough, but when we talk about shift 2, extremely tough. Okay, not an issue. Definitely, you will improve upon this particular score in the next time, and you have to just re-strategize. Definitely, you were close, right? Merchant banking. The question was on merchant banking. Okay, what kind of question was there? If you can elaborate. Merchant banking. We have merchant banking here. Fine. Next question is on the think tank. Fine. So the think tank capabilities. Think tank capabilities, they are defined under which setup? Under the Niti Aayog. Fine. Niti Aayog covers this think tank. Niti Aayog. Fine. And in Niti Aayog, you have 2 hubs. One is Knowledge and Innovation Hub, which talks about the think tank capabilities, and second one is your Team India Hub, which talks about the states participation. Fine, participation of states. Okay, that is also important. Okay, so the question which was there for the FDI, this FDI limit, it was asked for the private banks. Fine, private banks. What is the limit? It is 74%. Okay, for private banks. For public sector banks, it is 20%. This you should remember. It can be asked in the third shift. Then we have 22nd, fine, 22. The thing after the think tank, we have the question on SIDB. Can anybody tell that what was the exact question on SIDB? Whether it was based on the DFI chapter, the Development Financial Institution, or some other question was asked, scheme specific question was asked, speed plus or speed. What was the question? Okay, primary sector. Okay, so example of primary sector was also asked. Example of primary sector. Fine. Example of primary sector. So primary sector is what? Simply stated, primary sector includes your agri and allied activities. Okay. And if the basics were asked, then from the sector where we produce the raw material. Fine. So raw material is provided by which sector? By your primary sector. Next question, we also have one okay, example of this. One more feedback that case studies were asked. Fine, case study heavy, you can say the particular exam was, and in shift 1 also we have seen that case studies were asked. Fine. Then what else we have? Okay, Praful is saying Nash mandate. Okay, so this is 24th, right? 24th topic pertains to Nash mandate. What is the Nash mandate? You are authorizing your bank to debit your account with whatever amount there is involved in the transaction. Fine, authorizing the bank, that is your Nash mandate. Fine. MSF and SLR question was asked. So as we were discussing in the morning also, the marginal standing facility and statutory liquidity ratio, MSF and SLR, they are what? MSF is the upper band of your LAF framework, upper band, and when I talk about the SLR, it is the lower band or the lowest band of the LAF framework. What was the LAF framework we were discussing in the morning? Liquidity adjustment framework, which has the benchmark rate as repo rate. Fine, repo rate is the benchmark rate, and across repo rate only you will find one side, the higher side will be MSF, lower side will be the SDF. Fine, this is SDF, not SLR. Let me just correct it. It is SDF, standing deposit facility. Okay. Fine. IRDAI question we have seen. IRDAI directors and the which ratio? If you can elaborate. The ratio of directors or the stakeholders, right? Okay, surprisingly, one numerical is also reported based on the CAGR. So this is also you can say not expected, definitely. So one numerical on CAGR was there. See, stay tuned to our website, Adda 247. There you will find all the important questions with the exact options as well. Fine. We will try to have have all the important questions with the exact options, exact question statement for all of you. Fine. Next, what else we have? Air dye, yes. Okay, dependent and independent. Okay, dependent, independent. Okay, ratio of the directors. Ratio. What would be the right answer here? See, when you talk about the ratio of dependent, independent directors, minimum number we can say that the independent directors, the minimum number is 3. Fine. So whether 1:3 was the option, Sayan, if you can tell us whether it was in the option 1:3. So the independent directors, definitely we have the number as 3. That is the norm. Yes, hard versus soft underwriter. We have seen that particular question. The difference is risk involved, right? MSME we have discussed. Then green shoe option was asked. Again, these are the expected topics, right? So when we talk about the next, it is green shoe option. Every time IIBF asks this question. In the morning shift, I think it was not asked, but here it is in front of us, the green shoe option. Okay, then it should be 5:3 because minimum number of independent directors is stipulated at 3. So 5:3 or whatever the statement, whatever the option is there apart from that, but below you should have 3. Fine. Okay, okay. Green shoe option was related with your underwriting question. Fine. The underwriter question which we were discussing related to the risk involved. Fine. So it was match the following question. Fine. Match the following. Okay. Fine, fine. Yes, the director's question. Green shoe we have seen, CSR we have seen. Then, okay, okay. NDP at factor cost was also asked. So NDP at factor cost is what? NDP at factor cost, you add the indirect taxes, subtract the subsidies, and you get the NDP at market price. NDP at market price. Okay, this formula, it can be again asked in the third shift. Okay, some bankers are saying that NNP was asked. So if NNP was asked, then what will be the change here between the national and domestic product? In the domestic product, always remember, we add the net factor income from abroad and get the national product. Fine, that will be the national product. Yes, match the following was there. Okay, yes, definitely. Uday, the initial reactions are this only, that it is extremely tough, right? Not only moderately tough, now it has risen to extremely tough. Right? The first shift was moderately tough, now it is extremely tough. Okay, NDP was asked, fine. Committee based questions, whether it was there or not. Committee based question, anybody who can contribute, because every year IIBF asks the committee based questions, whether this time it has asked or not. Committee based. Okay, hard and soft infrastructure characteristics. Good. Hard versus soft. So hard versus soft infrastructure, we talk about what? In the overall hard infrastructure, you have the physical infrastructure, or for that matter, the buildings, fine. You have the roads, you have the connectivity via the ports. All these are what? Part of your hard infrastructure. When I talk about the soft infrastructure, it is more or less related to the social aspect of the entire infrastructure mechanism, like your health care services. Then we have education as well as the family planning. That is the basic difference between hard and soft infrastructure. Okay, Uday, fine. Yes. It's hard to find scores beyond 60. Fine. In this particular, you can say, shift, it is hard to find score beyond 60. And that is a rare sight when we talk about the scores of our bankers. Any other question you can recall? See, all of you who have not scored the desired threshold, Praveen, Uday, Shalini, I can say only one thing, that it's time to re-strategize. Wherever we have gone wrong, let's try to, revive our strategy from there itself. Let's try to look back and think that where we have gone wrong. Ultimately, we will find a solution for the upcoming attempt. Okay, Ayushman Bharat, one question was asked. One question on Ayushman Bharat was also asked. Theek. Okay. Okay, one question on eKuber was also there. eKuber, the platform governed by RBI for your trading in the government securities. Fine. Independent members, we know for sure that there are 3, but the exact answer will be depending upon the options which were there. Okay. Fine. One question on the insurance claim eligibility. Insurance claim. So definitely it also is covered under the principle of indemnity. Okay. So whatever the actual loss is there, you should know the actual loss. Then we must know the assets value, whichever is insured, that is the insured assets value. And we must know that what is the ask of the particular insurance company. Fine, that will be the claim which you can make from the company. Vishwakarma scheme we have seen, right? We have seen that. RDS, retail direct scheme, yes. RDS, your e-Kuber. Okay, SLR was also asked. We have seen MSF, SDF, but SLR was also asked, statutory liquidity ratio. What all you need to remember? First of all, it is a particular reserve which is maintained in the form of liquid assets. Fine, liquid assets. What kind of liquid assets we are talking about? You will find 2 or 3 liquid assets. First of all, it will be cash, then you have gold, as well as the government securities. Fine, government securities. After that, SLR is covered under which act? It is under your Banking Regulation Act. Next, when we talk about the SLR, right now it is at 18% of the net demand and time liability. And lastly, which we have to remember is that there is no minimum limit of SLR in our economy, but there is a maximum limit defined as 40%. 40% is the maximum limit. Okay, all these things you should remember when we talk about the question which can be repeated in the third shift. MSME we have seen. Sustainable. Okay. Then we have one sun, one world, one grid. Fine. OSOWOG. That is one sun, one world, one grid scheme which was proposed by India. Okay. This one question was asked from here as well. Fine. Any other question you can recall? Okay, bi-monthly 6 meeting for the MPC. Okay, okay. So one question was there on the bi-monthly meeting. Fine. So you have in total how many meetings? 6 meetings for your MPC. Fine. 6 meetings. There are bi-monthly meetings. Okay. One question on the market equilibrium was also asked. Fine. We were discussing this in the marathon also. Fine. Most of the concepts which we are discussing right now, they were in fact covered in the marathon. But when we talk about the level of question, it has been increased. Fine. You cannot just say that we have discussed everything in our classes and that is why the paper is very easy. No, you have to sit in the examination hall, implement those things which we have learned, and after that interpreting which option should be right, which is wrong, which is an uphill task while sitting in the examination doing all these things. Now though we are just casually telling you that this is the right answer for this question, this is how you should attempt, but while sitting in the examination hall, it is very tricky. Okay, so we have the question on market equilibrium. Fine, market equilibrium. And in the market equilibrium, what we have to remember, MCP, market clearing price, a particular, you can say situation when the demand and supply forces are intact. There is no need for any change in case of demand or supply forces. Both are intact. Okay. And when you talk about the prices here at the market clearing price, you will find a price which is acceptable by both. Fine. A price which is acceptable by both the, you can say, suppliers or the business firms and your consumers. Fine. So they do not have any reason to change or alter the price. Okay, one question was asked on the DFI, Development Financial Institution. IBF asks the question based on chronology, fine, chronological order, but this time no chronology was asked. Instead, it was asked that which of the following is not a DFI. 4 options were given, not a DFI. Okay, one question was there on ISLM curve. Every time it is asked in the exam, ISLM curve. So ISLM curve, we were talking about in the morning also, that IS talks about the monetary, IS talks about the fiscal policy, and when we talk about LM, it talks about the monetary policy. And the fiscal policy, it can be expansionary as well as contractionary, and same goes for your monetary policy, can be expansionary as well as contractionary. In expansionary policy, your IS curve will shift towards right, and in contractionary, it will shift towards left. Similar pattern is followed in the monetary policy. When it is expansionary, the curve of LM will shift towards right, and when we talk about the contractionary monetary policy, the curve of LM will shift towards left. And what is the change in the rate of interest? When we talk about the fiscal policy, expansionary fiscal policy, the rate of interest will increase, contractionary, it will decrease. For monetary policy, expansionary monetary policy, rate of interest should be low, and for contractionary, it should be high. These are the things which we have to remember from ISLM curve if your exam is in the third shift. Okay, so one second. Here we have some questions, many questions in fact. Reinsurance concept and functions. Okay, so another question was on the reinsurance concept and its functions. Reinsurance concepts as well as its functions, right? Functions. So I assume that a statement based question is asked from the reinsurance concept. Fine. We can write here that it is a statement based question. Statement. Next we have which institution is responsible for RBI? Okay. Institution which is responsible for RBI. So RBI as a regulator, one question was asked, and I think that the question should have been that whether it was established under the statute or not, under any statute or not. Fine, that should be the question. But still, RBI, one question was asked, I think from module C. This is covered under your module C, such kind of question from RBI. Otherwise, it is in B, C, A also. Fine, B, D and A also. Okay, insurance committee members. Fine. So we have the question on insurance products. Okay, insurance products were asked, and see, the insurance products, they are different, and the chapter where the principle of indemnity is given, that is a different important topic altogether. Then many questions were asked from the mutual funds. Mutual funds. So as you know that the topics get repeated in the upcoming shifts. So from mutual funds, you can expect a numerical on NAV. Fine. That formula you should remember. Fine. NAV, or for that matter, the absolute return. Fine. Absolute return, which was, I think, asked in the first shift as well. Okay, okay. So the question, next question on the next topic, we can say it was asked from the MSME. Fine, MSME, the limits ratio, fine, ratio was asked. So yes, we have to remember the particular limits which we have just discussed in the previous slide. Okay, PM, JJBY we have covered, Arya, Aditya. Then invites objective, fine. So theoretical question on the last chapter. So REITs, invites, all these are very important when we talk about the conceptual questions, fine. So you should remember that the concepts are important here in this chapter. It is the last unit, right? Okay. Then we have question on business cycle. One question in case of your business cycle. Business cycle, two questions were asked. One question was that which of the following is not a phase of business cycle. Fine, four options were given, not a phase was asked. And when we talk about the phases, they are what? Boom, then we have a recession, then depression, and after that we also have the recovery phase. Fine, recovery is also there. The second question on business cycle, it was that characteristics. Fine, that which of the following is not a characteristic. Fine, characteristic. What are the characteristics? It is wave-like, it is synchronic, it is pervasive. Fine, these are the major characteristics we can say. Along with that, it is recurring as well. Fine, recurring. Okay. Then we have a question on RBI. One question was there on the RBI, is nationalized or not? Yes, 1949 we have seen the nationalization of RBI. Fine. So RBI, when we talk about the nationalization of RBI, it was nationalized in 1949. Okay. Private bank FDI limit 74% that we have seen. After that, yes, can you tell me the IRDAI question? The question was for the ratio between dependent and independent members. This was the question, or something else? Okay. One more input, that second shift we saw lesser weightage of your module D. Okay, normally we say that module D is the most important one because maximum number of chapters are there, but sometimes we see that in certain shifts the importance may vary. That does not make it unnecessary, but yes, you should be having focus on all the topics, all the modules. And this is why I am telling you, so that if you are preparing for 2026 or for that matter you are having your exam in the next shift, you should not go with any preconceived notion. Okay, conspicuous consumption case study basis. Fine. Case study was asked. See, this time what we are observing, that mostly Aman ma'am and I, we were also discussing that mostly the change happened because of the case study based question. Fine. So this is a new thing, a fresh beginning, I would say, for the IFS, you can say, revamped paper. And when we talk about the importance of case studies, it is now more as compared to the previous attempts. Let me see more question. PM Vishwakarma we have seen. JJBY done. Okay, okay. Then one question was on the VRRR. We have one question on the variable reverse repo rate, VRRR. Okay, so simply stated, this is under the auction setup provided by the RBI. And when we talk about its difference with the fixed reverse repo rate is always found to be less than the VRRR. So if the conceptual based question is asked, then they can ask you in the next shift that RBI is performing the VRRR auctions for bankers, for the banks, which of the following is more lucrative? So the answer will be VRRR, because it is based on the market forces. It is always more than the fixed reverse repo. So more return is in line for the bankers when we talk about the variable reverse repo. Okay, forward contract also asked in the case study. Fine, fine. One more case study on forward contracts. Case study, forward contract. Okay, then we had one question on the inflation. So in inflation, we normally say that it is a negative aspect. Indeed, it is a negative one, but there is one specific positive of the inflation. The positive effect of inflation we have seen when? We have seen this positive effect in case of business cycle. When the economy is down, when the economy is in the depression, then it is because of your inflation only it will move towards the path of recovery. Okay, that is the positive aspect of inflation. Fine, the insurance numerical we have covered, that the sum insured was asked. Fine. Sum insured was given, and what will be your amount payable in case of insurance has been claimed. Reinsurance we have discussed. Then the question on I have just seen that NPS tier 1 tier 2. Okay, NPS tier 1 tier 2 was also asked. So the retirement fund, as we call it, tier 1, right? NPS, you have tier 1 and tier 2, T1, T2. T1 is for what? It is more or less for your retirement corpus. Tier 2 is freely usable. Okay. It is freely usable. Yes, yes, it is tough. It is tough. Okay, so minimum contribution was asked. Fine, fine. Minimum contribution to open the account, right? So it is what, 1000? So in tier 2, minimum amount, minimum contribution to open the NPS is 1000, if that was the question. Okay, it was based on case study. Fine. NPS also case study. Okay. Then we have the question that which of the following, when you talk about this question, one student has posted on our channel that which is not eligible for automatic FDI route. So automatic FDI route not eligible means for government route only, or for that matter FDI is prohibited. So for this question, the right answer will be real estate. Fine. In real estate, we have some speculative business. Fine. Not the core real estate operations. Always remember the core real estate operations, they are open for the FDI. But when you talk about the speculative measures, they are prohibited via FDI. Okay. The CAGR we have seen. Business cycle sequence we have seen. Okay. Recovery stage was asked. Fine, fine, good. So many questions you have told us, Uday, Arya, Aditya, and others also. Okay, then foreign trade policy pillars were asked. Fine. We have discussed this foreign trade policy of 2023. There are 4 pillars. Fine. 4 pillars are there. What are these 4 pillars? First of all, incentive to remission. Remission you can do if the exporter is doing well. Government can remit the, you can say, penalty, or for that matter any kind of tax. Then we have the participation, the collaboration between various stakeholders, be it the states, or for that matter it is a particular district, or your Indian missions. Fine. Then we have ease of doing business as another. Fine. Ease of doing business as another pillar. And lastly, we have the E-hub, or for that matter SCOMET policy. SCOMET policy. These are the 4 important pillars in the FTP. Yes, OS, OW, OG we have seen. Yogi, don't feel disheartened. Definitely the exam is tough, and when we talk about the results for such kind of examination, it varies and it depends on various factors. So yes, we have to re-strategize somewhere down the line and try to go for more difficulty level as we are preparing for 2026. Be ready for more difficult examination, as we talk about the same in the lectures as well, the paid classes of ours. Okay. Fine, fine. Any other questions you have? You have any input, you can tell me. Okay, so thank you everybody for being patient listeners here. For all of you who are having your exam in third shift, all the best, give it your best shot. And when we talk about the result which I am watching here on the YouTube, the live chat, it is mixed reaction. People have scored well also. Some deserving candidates, they are unable to crack this exam despite of good efforts. Still I would say that you have a chance, you still stand a chance to crack this exam in the next attempt, because you are the consistent one. Okay, fine. Yes, this we have covered, the RBI retail bonds in this particular discussion. This was there, e-Kuber was also there. Okay, fine. That's good. That's good. Sometimes we have certain background, and it helps us to score more, and it is good score. 59 is also a very good score. Okay, so this was it for this particular session. We'll see you in the third shift analysis and ultimate strategy for the upcoming attempt of IIFS at 5 p.m. And if you have any kind of doubt, do let me know in the comment section. We will try to address it as soon as possible. Fine. So all of you who have cleared this particular examination, and ultimately you have the JAIIB exam now, you have cleared all the subjects now by clearing the IFS, then definitely you should move towards CAIIB. Fine. CAIIB exam should be your next target. And when you talk about ADDA 247, how we can help you out, we can help you in deciding that what kind of course will be suitable for your preparation. And for that, we have dedicated number. You can contact us on that number being 0981 981 9247. You can directly call on this number, and we will advise you in the best possible manner. Okay, thank you everybody, take care.